flick on my stream and throw it on Gaming Talk Show. Or I could just leave it on Farming Simulator if we're going to be talking about Farming Simulator related topics.
You're welcome to do whatever you want. But we are live, and everybody, welcome to the second podcast for Agri-Bros, Cropscast. I'm NefariousGains. We're here with the Melted Cookie. We're here with Cousin Carl. We've got Teasing in the house. Top-notch gaming. And we were just talking a little bit about console versus PC, Farming Sim 2015. And recently, Melted Cookie, you got quite a bit of recognition from Giants. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we built a bridge on the Xbox One. You know, we had a few good ideas. One better than the other, another one better than another. You know, it wasn't just me, and you know, I have a pretty good crew on the one. You know, there's not a lot of building that you could do on the Xbox One, and it was kind of a fun, challenging, yet pissed off, you know, way of doing it. You know, we started out with logs. We found out very early that you lag out quite a bit with logs. So then we went back to the drawing board. You know, we tried out a few different trailers and found out that the Feigl Flat trailer, the orange one, worked out the best. You know, kind of played around with a few ideas on how we wanted the design, and you know, we went from there. Started tweeting a bunch of photos to the Giants dev team over at you know, who's responsible for Farming Sim. And, you know, they took some note to it, and that's, you know, what we do. We make things on console that haven't really been made before, and we enjoy it.
Awesome.
I don't even think they've ever been done on PC, to be completely honest with you. I think you're doing stuff that hasn't been, that's untested water. I think that's the recognition that you're getting is because of that. I mean, I don't think anyone's brain works like yours does.
It's not just mine. I'm not taking all the credit. There's 5 guys that you know, stand behind us on console, and you know, they come up with other ideas, and we go to the drawing board and say, hey, you know, this one might work better with logs, this one might work better with bales, this one might work better with a bale trailer instead of a log trailer. I mean, there's tons of thousands of different things you could do. And we just put all the ideas together, and out comes a good product, and you know, we're trying to pave the way for console gaming. You know, we're trying to get like a building aspect put into it is essentially what we're trying to do.
You're basically you're doing homemade modding, is what you're doing in there. Whatever you can come up with.
Yes.
Now, in the realm of modifying what we have available to us in Farm Sim, I believe, Teasing, you probably, among all of us, have the most experience. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, the kind of modding that you've been doing?
Oh geez, from editing something small on, say, a pickup truck, or you know, editing a map and adding drilling rigs, oil, a refinery, like a whole another direction that the game that I'm trying to get the game to kind of go, just to kind of include more things, because people are adding beef and pigs and chickens and whatever the fattening chickens. I don't know what that is. I've never tried it, but I saw there was an oil thing, so I added it in. I found a refinery from another map. I threw that in. I threw triggers in where they needed to go, and it just came together really nice. It works well, and then I was like, okay, I want to add more stuff to the map. I found a drilling rig model on Turbo Squid, colored it for 5 hours out of 1,000 pieces. Oh God, never want to do that again. But got that done, threw it in the map, looked at it in game. It looks awesome. Like, it's really cool. Obviously some bugs, but I just wanted to get it in, see what it looked like, get it going. I mean, I don't really make mods. I just edit them or I tweak them. As Carl was saying earlier, how a lot of PC gamers tweak the capacities and the power and just everything on equipment. I try and do the opposite. I'll actually go online, say a Kinsey grain cart. I'll go online, I'll look at that exact model of a grain cart, I'll look at how many bushels it'll hold. I'll find my conversion. I'll find a conversion on my phone here. I'll take that bushels. I'll take bushels and I'll convert it into dry liters, and that's what I'll put. And I'll put that as my capacity. That's my new capacity. It might only be 15,000 liters. It might be 20,000 liters. But I try and play in a realistic way as possible. I believe it was you, Neff, that you were interested when you saw that I use wheel lanes, like the tracks, in terms of driving on crops. Because I think that's a really cool mod in terms of realism. Because no offense to the console gamers, I mean, it is what it is. But when I'm spraying and you're spraying in crop, I like to do it in crop if I'm not using soil mod, because then you leave those tracks. In canola, that looks awesome. Those nice tracks, and they're just nice and thin, and the crop's growing in there, it looks good. I mean, the mod world in Farming Simulator is like, it's you can't even word it because it's just so out there, and there's just so much that you can do. It's ridiculous.
And you've got a lot of experience with that. I mean, and there's people out there like DeJnet, D-E-J-N-E-T, who's responsible for the Pleasant Valley maps. I think he's had 3 or more iterations of that. They just came into a 2.2. And we were playing on that on our server, and I don't know if it's just us, but we can't seem to buy the mine. So we came to a standstill, and we're looking for a better copy, and maybe it's just a bad copy. But now you mentioned Carl was talking about it. Carl, you've got some interesting perspectives on modding versus playing the vanilla, all the stock gear and stuff, and the overly modded equipment and things. Can you tell us a little bit about your perspective on that?
Sure. Farm Simulator gives you a great opportunity to design whatever kind of farm you want to have. I mean, how many video games can you do that? Like if you have an action RPG or whatever, it's true you can build a character over time and customize it up to a point, but with Farm Simulator you can take customization to great levels. I participated in group situations where we wanted to build a farm game save that was really way out there in left field, and we had harvesters that were holding 500,000 liters at a time, and then we had water tanks that were holding 200,000 or 300,000 liters of whatever liquid was being put in it or whatever. But then again, after you do that for a while, you realize you're taking away content. So it's like it's fun in games, but then there's a totally different mindset where you want to use the vanilla gear and just do it the old-fashioned way, and it's going to take a lot longer. It's a lot more work, but it's more to be proud of. So it's just a game or a simulator that allows you to pick and choose what mode you want to work in and different types of people you like to play with. And there's not a lot of things out there in the gaming world that gives you that. Most everything is what it is until you get into Farm Sim, and then it becomes whatever you can dream up. Like Melted Cookie, he made one heck of a nice bridge. I had found him on Twitch. I followed him, and then I think I had subscribed to the Farming Simulator website, and then one day they're saying, "Hey, Melted Cookie made this bridge in Sosnovka. Check it out. This thing is fabulous." And I said, "Hey, I follow that guy," and that's when you realize the community aspect. And one final thought, and toss it back to you, Neff, is there are companies that do listen to what gamers say about their products, but the Giant Software really is involved with all of us. They come into the streams, they visit, they ask questions, they listen to what people say, and if you don't believe me, ask Melted Cookie. He can tell you from first-hand experience, you know. So, hey, that's not a bad deal. I like it. I bought it. I'm glad I did. Back to you, Ned.
All right. So, and Carl, you make a really good point with the community. I mean, I don't know how many games are out there with as strong of a viewing community that plays the game, and you know, just the friendships that are created across the streamers that stream the game, like here we are, and the viewers that start playing the game together on account that they discovered each other in a random Twitch channel, like Top Notch Killers has a great community, and I think you were saying something earlier about you know, how your community has been continually growing.
Yeah, and there's the one thing that I think it causes my community to grow like any other is simply because of the fact that I am very interactive, you know, and I have a lot of good people around me, supporting cast, so to speak, with my mods and you guys for that matter. I mean, since we have come up with the initial idea of this group, the amount of support that has come in from you guys has really helped grow my community leaps and bounds. You know, and I stream a lot different than a lot of people do because I'm very interactive. I get wild and crazy. There's times I'll have a couple beers. We have commands in my chat for when I got to go to the bathroom and break the seal and all kind of stuff. But I think the one thing out of this group that I want the general community to have is to understand that we as streamers, we don't hate each other. You know, I by nature, my personality, I'm very competitive. And you guys will see a website that we're actually working on at a later date, that it has a list of the streamers, you know, on the main page, and it has your follower count, and it lists you on that page by your follower count. And for me to be halfway down the list, it just drives me, you know, it drives me. But I think I have a lot of respect for you guys as a group. I have a lot of respect for the Twitch community and my community, who I feel like is honestly the best community that you can possibly have. There's little things that you can do, you know, that I feel like separates myself, and one is being very interactive. The other is the whole loyalty programs that you can set up in your streams and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's our love for the farm sim game. I grew up on a farm, a rather small farm, as most of my community knows. 22, 23 acres of nothing but produce. So I know what a day is like in the middle of August baling hay. All right, I've been there, I've done that, got the T-shirt, and I'm somewhat glad I'm in factory work now. That way, and I live an hour and a half away from the farm, so it's very unlikely that my grandpa is going to call me and be like, "Hey, can you come help me bale hay today?" Hell no, I ain't. Not today. It's too hot. It's 102 degrees outside. But just to kind of end things there, and Neff, I'll send it back to you and let you kind of do your thing. But yeah, the community here, what we're doing, the group, everybody's going to grow. Everybody's going to learn that we love each other. We're just a big family. We don't hate each other.
Right, and absolutely, you know, you make a really good point there, Top. Not too awfully long ago, Farm Sim 2015 came out for console, and before that, it was only PC, and you had everybody that was modding, and you had people that have played Farm Sim since 2009. You know, all the odd years since then, a new Farm Sim has come out, and there have been people that have been a part of this game all the way back to that point. Well, you know, and I don't know about console versions of this game for those other iterations. Were they available?
Oh, no, to answer that, coming from console, no, they weren't. I think, if I'm not mistaken, FS15 is the first version that is available on console.
Okay, so there you have.
FS13 was available for console because I have it for Xbox 360.
For the 360, but the one is 15. They don't have a 13 for the one.
I see. Well, and really the point I was getting at is very recently we've kind of seen a little bit of a divide. in the community, and where it was very solid. The foundation was there, all the way back to 2009. And one thing with this streamer group that we're hoping to accomplish, and that's a reunification, so to speak, of the Farming Sim 2015 community. The thing is, the new participants in the streaming on the console side really don't have a lot in common. We can't cross platforms, and that causes a little bit of a rift right there. And people that play on console can identify with people that play on console. The minute a PC farm simmer is talking about a modified game or a map that is just not available through the vanilla type, then you're speaking Greek, and they really can't identify.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
We look at you guys, when you have different mods, and we go into your stream, and you guys are like, okay, you have Pleasant Valley version 14, 18, and 20, and we're kind of looking at you guys going, well, what's Pleasant Valley? Like, we kind of feel new to the whole group, it's like we have 3 maps, which one you guys want to play today? And then we go over to, Top Notch, or we go to Nefs, or we go to TEASIING or somebody, and we're like, oh, what are you guys playing today? And you guys are playing version 1 through 12, and you're like, oh, well, now I'm kind of lost to this conversation. and that just comes from a console guy, I mean, other guys that play on console can back me up on it. It needs to kind of branch out a little more,
Sure, definitely, and it would be great if you guys could get that kind of availability to modify your own files, and I couldn't even begin to guess what is necessary to make that happen. But our goals for this group, this podcast, are the sky's the limit. So if you guys are watching out there after this broadcast, and you have ideas that you would like to see us discuss, I mean, we talked a little bit the difference between PC and console gaming. Talking about modification and new maps and things like this. I think, Cookie, you said something about being able to create free DLCs and just chuck them out there for console.
That would be cool. Like if Xbox could somehow in the near future have kind of, for say, a Dropbox. And okay, Neff, if you're using a specific a piece of logging equipment that me and some of the guys that play on console with myself or some other console guys, want to say, hey, Neff, we want to use the Beast, the big logging trailer and whatnot, and you could dump that in a Dropbox, and then I could pull it right off a cloud on the Xbox and use it. That would be great. That it would kind of mix 2 worlds in one.
Mm-hmm.
It would kind of keep the PC guys saying, "Hey, okay, we're gonna keep modding this game, we're gonna keep loving it and whatnot." But now we're gonna upgrade it one more, and give the console guys an opportunity to say, "Hey, this is what it feels like to have a piece of modded equipment and make your game and your server better."
So there you go. I mean, and we're just basically touching the tip of the iceberg there. I mean, we're just kind of thinking out loud. So that's definitely on the agenda to see what the reality with that is, if that's even going to be possible. But I mean, you whisper in the right ears, and anything's possible. So if whatever you guys would like to see us discuss, whether it be equipment, farming practices, really anything, put a comment in the put a suggestion in the comments below, and we'll address it as time comes out. Top Notch was saying something about the website. We're going to have a website with forums and things like this that you guys can interact in. Community where both console farm simmers and PC gamers alike can come together and discuss different variations, because I mean, look, invariably all of us PC gamers have had that vanilla experience that the console gamers are that's the only thing available to you. So any kind of recommendations or tips and tricks, I mean, we can all network together, and more than anything, the fact that we have a love for farming and a love for this genre of game, that is the unifying factor right there. So we all share a similar mindset to a certain degree. So there is a very good chance that we're going to have a lot more in common than just that, whether it be our disposition, whatever the case, common interests and whatnot. So, guys, any final words?
Got
No, I think
nothing.
I'm good.
I would love to see Giant Software cut a couple of deals with these console companies. You know how in PC we go to the Giant Farming Simulator website and we have a mods tab, and at free will you can click any mod you want and download it instantly for free. I would love to see them explore negotiations with Sony and Microsoft to be able to do that for console, so that on the consoles they go to their in-store and could have, a few pages of different mods, just like the PC community. That would be really cool if they could pull that off.
Right.
Not even like a Dropbox. I see what he's saying. It would be like, if you go to the store and you tab over 2 spots and it says mods, it would be a preloaded, say a preloaded section of today's mods, today's best downloads. And you could tab over and you wouldn't even need to access a Dropbox. It would already be preloaded into your Giant server, into the server that they give you to play on, and it would be preloaded. You wouldn't even have to do any downloading of Dropbox. You wouldn't have to Steam cloud it. It would be preloaded in there. So, that would be awesome to see.
Right on.
If I'm not mistaken here, DC just made up a good point here in the stream. Now, I didn't play it on console. I have it for the PS4, but I played it a total of 20 minutes, and I realized the vanilla version that you guys love so much, I absolutely despise, because I love to be able to haul 1.2 million loads of a load of 1.2 million gravel in a tipper that is designed to hold 35,000 liters. But he said that they did at the end of FS13 in the old gen, which I'm assuming he's talking about the Xbox 360, release 3 mod packs. Now, whether that was DLC or actual universal mods, I'm not real sure of, but I can get back to you guys on that on a later date.
Cool. Teasing, any final words?
No, not really. I mean,
what's on your horizon?
This is just the beginning. For
All
what?
right.
Sorry.
What's on your horizon for modding? I think you're working on a map right now.
Yeah. Oh, that map is that map's well behind. But I did have if you guys know Small Town America, I took an edit of that, and I called it Southern Saskatchewan just to change it up, just something new. Everyone loves new. So I changed it up. I changed the name, and I added the oil, like I said, the drilling rigs and all that stuff, just a different aspect of the game. And I mean, I've been talking on my Facebook page to people saying, hey, how are you guys liking the map? What can we do to make it better? I've already gotten really good ideas, guys that are already willing to take their time to put effort into this map. One guy said, I'll try and get terrain detail. I know Saskatchewan isn't all flat, but it is mainly flat. But he said, I'll try and get some terrain in there, some hills and stuff, some valleys, which would be awesome. I mean, who needs Wind Chaser when you can have, any map you want?
Absolutely. Well, and it's, that's really what makes Farming Simulator 2015 so rich. From the PC side of things, is guys like you that are dreaming up new content where, like Top Notch is saying, the vanilla, just the base game, which every other game you have in your Steam library is stock, and we've, maybe not all, but the vast majority. It's how the developers built the game. But with Farming Simulator 2015, it is such a unique animal that the modding community has just kept the breath of life in this game to such an extent that it's always something new, and what's around the next corner is anyone's guess, and it's guys like you, Teasing, that we have to thank for that.
Well, I only edit the mods. I don't make the mods. I only edit it for really my own personal what's the word? Not enjoyment, but my own personal liking for something, like the map. You know, it's kind of like what I wanted. I wanted those drilling rigs. I wasn't gonna edit it anymore. I wasn't gonna release it to anyone because I wanted drilling rigs in it, because I think whether they were working, not working, just stood there and looked pretty. I didn't care. I just wanted a drilling rig in there because what other map has a drilling rig, drilling oil? I mean, it's just something cool to look at, and it's just there. I mean, just different.
Awesome. Well, we definitely thank you for what you do. And there's a lot of other modders that that are out there that we could name, but we're running out of time. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. Have a look at all of our Twitch channels. There's going to be a link in the description below, and stay tuned for more podcasts to come. Thank you, all of you, for participating in today's podcast, and we'll have another one very soon.